Alright, what's up YouTube? Back again. So, what are we doing today? So, one of my last videos there was the my take on the 2025 Can-Am lineup. It's been a couple weeks now. Other guys on this on YouTube here have made their statements, etc., etc., gave their opinions. So I figured that today I would kind of, revisit it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to revisit the 2025 lineup. So once again, do me a favor, like, subscribe, notification, blah, 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 blah. Just try to watch the video to the end. I appreciate it. Just cue the intro and we'll get started with this discussion. I've been watching other people's take on this. I've been reading the comments in them, etc., etc. Not that there's really any new information. I don't think I haven't seen anyone actually riding these new models in the real world. So real world takes on it are few and far between. So right now we're strictly in the land of opinion, which is what this is going to be as well. I watched a video by another YouTuber called Black Phoenix Entertainment. There'll be a card somewhere up there, and the video will be linked down in the description so you can watch that. Because this guy's video, and I am a subscriber to him, I do like his content, and I'm not bashing him, but he basically takes a lot of the opinions and consolidates it into one video so you don't have to go hunting it all. And he has some valid points, but because it's an opinion, it's a valid point from a certain point of view. And I'm going to be a little contrarian. Like I said, I'm with him. I like the platform. Is it perfect? No. But I don't think I'm at fanboy level. You know, my whole house isn't decorated in Can-Am accoutrement like some other manufacturers. They have fanboys. Not that they don't exist. I'm sure there are Can-Am fanboys. But he brings up a couple of valid points. But quite frankly, I think there's counterpoints to what he's saying. Which is not just him, obviously. It's like I said, it's... So I just rewatched this video before I got on this thing. So I'm going to try to do my best to address his criticisms. Now we'll start off with the Ryker. His statement was, at this point, it's a dead platform because it hasn't been updated in a number of years. And he is right. It hasn't been visually or performance-wise updated in a number of years. Like I said, there are little tweaks and that could be done, and they're not being done. That being said, I think the Ryker itself, its Achilles heel has always been reliability. You know, granted, if you were paying attention in the 2020s, you know that there was something going around that kind of screwed a lot of things up worldwide. And I think that has something to do with the reliability issue, not in total. It is a relatively new model. No one ever really had a problem with the engine per se, so it was never a power plant problem as far as reliability. The basic thing was like wheel nuts, the way they ran the wires, and the sensors. Now my thing is this: a lot of people are thirsting for power. Now I'm not a Can-Am engineer, you know, you want more power, but if you look at it from the company's standpoint, there's probably a reason why they made the choice they did, because it's not a question of putting a bigger power plant in the Ryker. It's a question of undetuning the Ryker and let the engine develop as much horsepower as possible. There can be a number of reasons for that. The design of the powertrain couldn't handle that much power. Too much power could put you in a situation that it would overload the VSS, and that would lead to more accidents. And then, you know, that might just chalk, you could just chalk that up to it would give this platform a bad reputation. And you know what, I'm going to get to this. I'm going to make a point, but I'm going to get to it later. And the same thing with the F3s. Last year they changed the dashboard. You got the Apple CarPlay, you know, some LED lights, and that's about it. The 2025 gets a backup camera, and apparently from the website they dropped the Sea to Sky, which was nothing more than it didn't really offer anything other than minor luxuries at a premium. So the special series is basically a Sea to Sky. So we'll take those two, and just, they haven't been updated to any great degree. That being said, another statement he made was, no one's listening. That's a valid point. But then again, I don't know how many people are asking for more power, more this, more that, blah, 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 blah. Even though the people that are asking might be vocal, it may not be the majority. Who knows? You know, would I like to see more Ryker? Would I like to see more power in my Ryker? Yeah, it would be nice. But do I need it? No. I've never been in a situation where I'm like, I can't, my machine isn't doing what I want it to do. So for me, that's kind of it's a moot point. Take it or leave it. But I can't see where he's coming from. I've always found this to be a case that the thirst for power, to me, has always indicated that you bought the wrong machine. You know, if you buy a Harley, a bagger, and it's not powerful enough for you, then the question is, what did you expect it to do, or what are you trying to use it for? Are you going out and doing a king of the baggers on your own? So maybe you should have bought a sport bike. Yeah, like I said, that's just my opinion. Is it a dead platform? No, I don't think it is. I don't think either one of these are a dead platform. What I think is going on, and is that there's no competition. And if you think about it, there really isn't. If you go to any type of motorcycle, then you have options. You want a bagger? Yeah, you could get a Harley, you could get an Indian, you could get a Honda, you could get a Yamaha. You know, other people make motorcycles in that class. Sport bikes, you have a ton of stuff. Off-road bikes, you got a ton of stuff. But if you want or need a three-wheeler, you have the Triglides, you have the Can-Ams, and you have the Goldwing conversions. You know, if you want to include it, which I wouldn't, but if you, the Polaris ones, okay, we'll just wait for you here to, I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. Yeah, so if you're moving from two wheels to three wheels, you have very few options, relatively speaking. And if you're just coming in and you don't want to get on two wheels, you also have very few viable options. And that's just the nature of the beast. If you don't have the competition, then you don't need to innovate or change, because you're the only one in town. And I think the unfortunate thing is that's where Can-Am is right now. They don't have the competition that would mandate changes. Whatever. I'm not even going to touch on the electric bikes, because you know, if you want to talk about a dead platform, I think that's it. So do I think they're dead platforms? No. But why would, if I was Can-Am, why would I put money into something that sells? It sells. I just went to a club meeting yesterday, and one of the members, she is just waiting for delivery on her Ryker Rally. There's one more customer that didn't exist yesterday. We had a function, and luckily we're at a big park at the beach. And one of my buddies, his wife was interested in getting into this. So I let her ride this around the parking lot. And not for nothing, bro, it scares the living shit out of me. Like, she's never ridden before. It's not like I was giving this thing over to a seasoned motorcyclist. She's never ridden a motorcycle, like not operated it. She's been on the back, but, and you know, here I am handing this thing over to a complete novice. Luckily, you know, she didn't whiskey throttle it into a car, you know, but she enjoyed it. Whether or not she'll make the leap of getting it and going through the MSF and all that stuff, that's a different story. So the market's there. I think Can-Am has definitely, I don't want to say cornered, well, definitely cornered the female market of new riders. You know, the seasoned riders, you know what I'm saying, the pre-Can-Ams, those ladies will probably stick with whatever floated their boat up until now. And there's probably no reason for them to switch now. You know, if the medical stuff happens later on, you know, they can't do this and that, that's a different story. Why improve something that's selling? Especially to new riders that might not, I don't want to say know any better, but, you know, aren't aware of what could be. You know, if your first motorcycle is a Can-Am Ryker, you might just think that that's enough for you. And there's no need to upgrade to something with more power, etc., etc. Possible. Everyone's different. But these trikes, they fill the niche that they're in. And they don't have competition. There is no reason for them to invest the money. If the market goes stale and people aren't buying and they do need a shot of sales adrenaline, then maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll radically change it. I don't know what that's going to look like. And I do think that the power issue, like I said, that was intentional. Like you said, it's detuned. I'm not going to say that Can-Am is going to be forthcoming and tell you why, you know, they're putting a 900 in your Ryker and it's making 600 horsepower. It's a valid question. And I don't know, I could think of the answer to it. So that's all I got to say. I don't think they're dead platforms. I just think that they're going to bide their time and wait till the changes get more bang for the buck. Now, the big thing is the Canyon. And this is this is one of those things where it could be a little polarizing, but I think what happens is people just can't see too far past their own proclivities. You know? And it also might be some people, and we all know these people, some people think the glass is half full, some people think the glass is half empty, and there's another group of people that just think it's full of piss and ain't gonna drink it regardless. You know, I like to think that I'm the half full type of guy. And that's the position I'm going to take. Because statement was made, who's asking for this? Who's asking for this? It's a valid question. Here's my answer. The same people that bought a three-wheeler to begin with. And that's a fairly big group of people. Now, within this group of people, there are people that like to go off-road. Am I one of them? No. Do I have aspirations of doing it at some point? Yeah. If I had the opportunity, I would definitely do it. So there's a group of people that want to ride off-road and cannot ride two wheels, or choose not to ride two wheels. There's nothing for them. Well, we'll caveat that. So let's just revisit something. Why are there ADV bikes? Because the motorbike, you know, just regular dirt bikes predate them. Quads and before that trikes predate ADV bikes. So why did they come up with it? It's very simple. You have to trailer those first two. I live in the city. If I want to go off-road, I got to go truck 100 miles to a trail. But I can't ride a dirt bike or a quad 100 miles down the highway to get to it, which would mean back in the day I would really have to modify, like maybe a Sportster or something like that, and put different suspension. I have to modify a street legal bike to take it off-road. And that's where the adventure bike comes from, for people that didn't want a trailer. Now, so that answers your question number one. Who's asking for this? People that don't want a trailer. Okay? Now, once you're on that trail, ADV bikes in the extreme are loaded down, heavy, and unstable. When is a motorcycle its most unstable? When it's moving slow. When do you ride a motorcycle slow? When you are unsure of the terrain, where you have to do navigations, things like this, which is ADV riding. You don't know what's around this corner. You got to go up this hill. There's ruts, there's this. You have to pick a line, stick to it. You might slide off. You might fall over. And if you fall over, especially if you're doing this by yourself, you now have to unload your bike, pick it up. You're on a hill, so somehow you have to find a way to put the kickstand down, get to the top of the hill, excuse me, then go back, grab your crap, hike that up the hill, strap it back to your bike, and you might fall down 5 minutes later and repeat the process. That is part of the appeal, no doubt. But some people can't pick their motorcycle up. I've seen it. You know, they're good as long as they're upright. Once they go over, they ain't getting back up. And me personally, this is where I see the Canyon coming in. Now, is it as capable as a specialty two-wheeler or quad with the four-wheel drive and the winch in the front? No. That's a valid point. It's not. And then we'll hear it's got a belt drive. Okay, it's got a belt drive. Is it the best thing in the world? No. But as of right now, and I'm sure they did their research, I don't think that they came out with an entirely different model without thinking about it, consulting, and studying it, because that's a big-ass investment. Even if you're just refitting an existing model. I mean, refitting existing models cuts a lot of R&D time. You know, even some of these ADV two-wheelers, you know, they're still using the same engine as they are on their sport bike. Just different, maybe some different gears and stuff. Obviously different suspension, but relatively minor tweaks. You don't want to redesign an engine to go into a bike that goes off-road. So, and then there was another statement made of, who's asking for this? Where's the market? You know, in business, there's two things. You either have the market and you tap into it, or you create the market. It's that simple. Maybe even a combination of both. Because are they tapping into a market? Yeah, there is an ADV market. Did they create it? No. But they're tapping into it. But are they also creating a market? You could say yes, because there are people that don't ride ADVs because they can't. And the trike configuration gives them a way in. And Can-Am wants to capitalize on that. Perfectly valid business model, business plan. Now, whether it will catch on, who's to say? Who's to say? I'm not in marketing. I'm not tapped into that life. I don't ride with people like that, so I don't know any scuttlebutt on ADV people. I've watched a lot of BDR videos. Oh, you know, okay, sorry. They're talking about ADV riding in general. While I haven't done it, I've seen a lot of videos on it. I follow a lot of guys that do the back road, whatever it is, discovery routes, BDRs. And while, yes, they can get very, very hairy, but a lot of that riding is well within the capabilities of the trike. yeah, it's going to get its ass kicked compared to a dirt bike or a specialty ADV bike or a quad with four-wheel drive and a winch. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, maybe those roads are within capabilities of your bike, but it ain't within your capabilities, because I've seen that too. I've seen these guys, and they're dropping their bikes left and right. Like I said, part of the appeal, no doubt. And here's the other statement. The Ryker can do that. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You cannot... At its most basic level, yeah, any motorcycle can go down a dirt road. That's not complicated. But if you want to compare the 4 inches of clearance on a Ryker Rally to a 10-inch clearance on the Canyon, 6 inches, big deal. I'm sorry, children. You know, but that's 6 inches of extra clearance and shock travel, etc., is actually a big deal. It's belt driven. Is it the best? No, it's not the best. Is it the worst? Well, yeah, if you're comparing it to everything else, probably is the worst. But will it get the job done? Of course it'll get the job done. Is there more risk? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that if that platform of the Canyon sticks around, I'm sure Le Monster Garage and Sling Mods and even Can-Am themselves might be coming out with additional parts or modifications to be made to protect that belt even more. But the funny thing is, it's like, if you say, why did they build this thing in the first place? And yes, it is a modified F3. That's all it is. Why would you go about redesigning a shaft drive for this specific model? Now, if they want to go to shaft drive for the entire F3 lineup, that's a different story. Like, one thing is these electronic shocks on the Canyon. I definitely see those getting moved over to the regular F3s in some sort of variation. I think, personally, there's a market for it. I don't know how big it is, you know, but maybe some guys want to go camping and stuff, and they have to go down a fire road, and maybe that fire road isn't too bad, but they're older or whatever. You know, you can make all the excuses you want why you're not doing it on 2 wheels. But here's another thing, you know, because I'm making this up as I go along. But you could throw a lot more stuff on the back of that Canyon than you can on any ADV bike. Like, you could really load it up. And if you don't want a trailer, like if you want to carry a lot of stuff, man, that Canyon will fit that bill real well. Will it have trouble negotiating ruts? Yeah, probably. You know, I would love to see how the traction control gets tuned. You know, if you're going through a stream and it's got a lot of moss or slime on the bottom of it, you know, with that, like you said, it's not four-wheel drive, so if that back tire loses traction, I would like to see how it works out. I do think that the Canyon will blow away the Ryker, because once again, even the Rally, which is off-road capable to a degree, it's not an ADV. It's not even remotely close to being designed for one. It probably doesn't have enough storage for a lengthy off-road trip. And I forget what it was, but it's oh my god. But they took a Niken and a Rally and they abused the crap out of it. They took it off-road to see which trike was better. For the love of God, they got they were going over a sand dune or something, and they got the Ryker Airborne, which was pretty cool to see. I'm actually looking forward to seeing this Canyon in person. Look-wise, I kind of dig it. You know, I understand where people are coming from, telling it looks like a lawnmower. You know, but I think that Can-Am is doing okay. I'm not one to check their financials, but like I said, they have the three-wheel market, alternative three-wheel market locked up. They have very little competition, and they really don't need to innovate all that much right now. And I'm sure they have pie in the sky dreams and stuff, and we'll just have to see if it works out, it pans out. They bring it to market. And the thing is this, I've been on this thing since 2021. I still get comments on it. I still get questions on it. I still get two-wheel people curious about it. Those two-wheelers that I have ridden this one, or my Spyder, they love it. Is it for them? Maybe not. Maybe not at this point. You know, a lot of them have told me that, like, if they had more space in the garage, they would get one as a secondary or third bike. There's still interest, as they are. Like I said, I don't think there's a reason for them to go full bore and radically change everything. That's my 2 cents. Hopefully I didn't sound too fanboy, but watch this guy's video, like I said, and that's what I'm trying to address. If I didn't get to something, obviously put in the comments down below, and I'll just have to type it out afterwards instead of saying it. But I pretty much covered the general complaints or questions that I've been seeing. Not to say that, you know, like I said, there's also the complete opposite. So it's a two-way street. It's like, it wasn't all negative like a Star Wars review. You know, there were some positives, and I also think, given the internet, the negatives are always louder than the positives. You see this in the forums. Everyone complains about this little problem or that little problem. No one's going to go on a Spyder or Ryker forum and go, oh, by the way, guys, I have no problems with my... Okay, the two things I would put money into is reliability and servicing. The two weakest links in the Can-Am lineup. It's not the power, it's not the design, it's not this, it's not that. The two biggest problems with Can-Am are reliability and getting it fixed or serviced. Right. Thanks for watching. Blood drive today. You know, please like, subscribe, notifications, yada yada yada. Boy, and then I'll see you guys next time. And if you disagree, agree, want to shoot the if you just want to opine, just do it down in the comments below. We'll have a chat. All right, next time. Bye.